Thank you for the warm introduction. Jill and I are honored today to speak to you guys about a topic very near and dear to us, insights for women across life stages and how best to connect with them. Our hope today is that you leave having a better understanding of this powerful group of women and how to better connect with them. They garnered $2.4 trillion in purchasing power, and we want to give you some insights of how you can better leverage to connect with them. Be forewarned, Catherine is going to be somewhere in the audience here, and this is going to be an interactive session, so prizes are awarded, but you have to answer the right question. So I'm going to click here. Whoops.
One back.
All right. There are 3 generations of women represented here. Is this one not moving here?
Can you take us back a slide, please? There you go.
Well, this is okay. Okay. All right, that one's not going. All right, so we're just going on the slides. There are 3 generations of women represented here: Millennials, Gen Xers, and Boomers. This force of females represent 40% of the US population, and about half of them are moms. 45% of these have kids less than 6 years old, and 48% of them work full-time. 40%, this is a new stat that is pretty impressive, 40% are now the primary household earner. Can anyone tell me, this is the first question, can anyone tell me the age of the oldest millennial?
The lady in the back.
33, yes.
Nailed it.
Okay, nailed it. I think that's Samantha Ski over there. All right, you win a CoverGirl Clump Crusher mascara. It's fabulous. You'll love it.
The crush.
Millennials are the youngest moms who have an optimistic spirit and believe anything is possible. They put value to different things versus their badass independent Gen X sisters or their overachiever baby boomers. Before jumping into the insights, though, before jumping into the insights, I want to set the stage for the vast range of women who span the mommyhood continuum and how generational and cultural stereotypes have defined 60-plus years of the mom sisterhood. There are many differences across the women in life stages, but there are some common truths as well. As we heard, and you're probably going to hear this stat quite frequently throughout the next 2 days, 91% of all moms think that marketers don't understand them, and that's a problem for us. They want to be spoken to as individuals versus the collective mom. And once a mom, always a mom, but there are several life stages that they'll go through individually and with their family. At SMG, we are continually learning about what really matters most to this very important and powerful group of women. We refer to them as multi-moms. They're multi-generational, they're multicultural, they're multitaskers, and they're multi-screen users. A few things got moms buzzing this year. The mommy wars blew up across multiple screens and fueled conversations online and offline. Time magazine unapologetically celebrated attachment parenting at its most literal sense, leading to skirmishes over whether prolonged attachment made better mothers. Then Time debated if this entitled, narcissistic millennial generation will ultimately save us all with their optimistic point of view on life and shifting of the priorities for the greater good versus past generations. Or the ongoing debate in political forums or boardrooms about if women should lean in or exit the workforce because telecommuting is just not accepted. Or the question, is being a full-time stay-at-home mom equivalent to a full-time job? While we all may have differing views on what these topics are and what your point of view is, the headline is clear. Women have a voice louder and more impactful than ever. They care and they share, and they blog. Okay, next question. What % of moms are bloggers? 10? Somewhere in between there. So 1 in 3. 1 in 3 moms, or 33% of moms actually, are active bloggers. They're writing, they're reading, they're commenting, they're listening, and they're debating with one another. All of this leaves marketers and brands a bit perplexed on what to do and how to connect with this very large, influential, and diverse spectrum of multi-moms. Well, don't fret. At SMG, we have a real-time arsenal of insights that you too can tap into. We listen, we probe, and we address the needs of women across all the different life stages. Our Human Experience Center is powered by 1,200 people across 8 countries and is real-time, 24/7. If there's a burning question that a marketer actually has, we can get globally validated responses within 48 hours. From our mom sensing investigation, we have tons of life stage insights. Today, I'll share 3 of them that hopefully you can action today or tomorrow as you return to work. There's a notion of there's a me behind the mom. Before she was a mom, she was a woman, and she still is. She doesn't go away. She has become a mom since she's become a mom. She has needs and desires that have nothing to do with her children. Some willingly take up this mom mantle and let it consume their self-identity. Others wear the mom role when needed and slip in and out very naturally when called for. Knowing which mode she's actually in, mom, woman, wife, friend, is crucial in how you talk, interact, and engage with her. So a bit of implications here. Don't always assume because she has offspring that she's been reborn into this totally different identity or different person. To be a mom is life-changing, but it's not self-eclipsing. She is still the same person, she has the same sense of humor, and she's still playful. She approaches motherhood in beta. There's no manual, for the moms out there, there's no manual for being a mom. She's open to learning, and she actively seeks out direction to master the art of motherhood. She doesn't expect to get it all right, but she curates the best-in-class resources. She has virtual confidants and advisors, and even mentors in the social circle. However, there's plenty of mom-petition. Yes, I said mom-petition within mom circles, meaning that she has a thick skin and the filter is needed because there's lots of unsolicited advice that she's been given. Being a beta mom is more about just pursuing a mastery of being a mom. It's really a backlash to the alpha moms who live vicariously through their children. Beta moms rebel from the push to see their kids overscheduled and overbooked, which is a true reality. Betas value a more meandering path to individual development and a customized approach that works for them. Something to think about for the beta mom as you guys actually market is really help moms get the creds within our mom circles for sharing tidbits and tips and hard-won lessons in motherhood. And last and not least, one of my favorite, is that happy hour, it hasn't gone away, it's still thriving, but it actually has gone digital and has actually been time shifted. The typical happy hour no longer works for moms. Due to limited time and resources, more socializing is done in home or off premise. For parents, happy hour begins when the children are tucked into bed at night. There are cocktails or possibly even a dance in the kitchen. For many moms, actually going out with friends is reserved for special occasions. As more of moms' social connections are digital, this is done at home, after hours, with a glass of wine in hand. I think we can all relate to that. This signals the me time has begun. Many a mom has engaged in wumping. Does anyone know what that is? It's actually drinking some wine while reading the bump. She can connect and commiserate with friends and other moms across the globe, checking Facebook or firing off some tweets or actually writing in her blog. It's a conversation in a different space with different rules. Among moms, happy hour is still alive but thrives now in the digital space. So something to think about as you guys try to market to moms during this important space when she's really about me is about after hours, after they put their kids to bed. You'll find her actually connecting in the digital platforms. Consider how you can actually create a virtual night out or facilitate the switching of gears from her going to mom actually to going to the me side of what she's actually doing. On P&G, more than 70% of our efforts are actually targeted to moms. And when trying to reach them, we really identified a gap in the marketplace Some sites actually in the digital space actually talk to mom in one life stage, but it didn't graduate with her into the next life stage of being this lifelong trusted advisor. So Jill, as part of Liquid Thread, and what they really drove, is going to really talk about what we did to address this gap and how we created a marketplace first.
Thanks, Katie. So as we listened to, and we looked at all of this research that Katie just presented and started to pull it together and said, how can it be actionable? What we wanted to do is we listened to what we believed was the enormous gap going on in the marketplace right now, and that was across the life stages of motherhood. There was no one environment that addressed mom and motherhood as an occupation. In other words, starting in early pregnancy, growing, nurturing with her, but you're never not a mom. So how do you address that? That was number one. Number two is that we also noticed that there wasn't an environment in which brands could engage in, could leverage, could speak to women through their various cycles of being a parent and find unique opportunities to reach and message them in appropriate ways, the way they want to be spoken to. As Katie said, they didn't want to be spoken to in sort of this mass mom. They wanted this individuality. And how do you program against that when you're creating content? It's quite an enormous undertaking. Because there was no model out there that served our needs, we developed a new business model, and SMG leveraged our strategic alliance with Berman Braun to do that. The result was Mom.me. Many of you may be familiar with it based on the numbers that I'm going to share towards the end, but Mom.me was a unique environment in a really, really crowded baby category. It was more than a parenting site. Again, it was addressing the woman as a mother and as a woman and understanding that at different times she has different needs. So beyond the parenting advice, it was also incorporating categories like lifestyle and mind and body and food and home and all the other things and interests that interest a woman today. And then it was also taking in a really robust community to make sure that we incorporated inspiration, support, the perfect balance of support and stretch that women need today around their community. And then ultimately making sure that this entire environment was designed to meet her lifestyle at her actual stage. So being a millennial mom for the first time is very different than being a Gen X mom for the first time. And we have to communicate to them in the right way, otherwise we've absolutely lost them. And once you've lost them, they're not coming back. So creating a new business model, the three main reasons that we saw for success in developing this site, Mom.me, was one, working with Berman Braun was about early collaboration at the onset, getting everyone to buy in, thrash about, figure it out from not only the creative and the content, but from the usability and the design, and understanding very early on what we wanted to create, bringing Berman Braun, SMG, Liquid Thread, and P&G together to have this conversation is absolutely, time of the essence and being able to really spend time developing where we wanted to go with it. The second was also working with a proven partner. The beauty of Berman Braun is that they've been extremely successful in breaking through clutter in categories that are very crowded. They've had success with Glow, they've had success with Wonderwall in the celebrity space, and making sure that if they're gonna break through in a cluttered category, how do you push to be number one in engagement? And you do that by not only understanding your target, but understanding usability. We also then made sure that we had editors. Our editors are, for the site are former people who worked for Real Simple and Martha Stewart. So really understanding women and really understanding beautiful environments, which you want it to be beautiful if you're also going to be reading the content. And then the third thing that we also put for this business model for success was a year-round presence, right? So often parenting sites talk about the 9 months of pregnancy and then maybe move into a little bit after that, but they don't talk about, there's holidays, there's occasions, there's all of these different occasions about being a parent from early stages in pregnancy all the way through to empty nesters. And how do you sort of, again, segment and sequence your content in the right way at the right time so that the site gets smarter and starts to know her so that they're serving her the right content. And that also resulted in when we see page views and retention, we've been able to see that that's been really successful. So the results. So in less than 1 year, and now we're at the 1 year mark, but this is April's numbers with a difference in the month, we're the #1 site in engagement and in page views. We're #2 in the category. We launched a Hispanic extension within the general market site, LatinoMom.me. We also have Average 6 minutes per visitor for a new site, average of 12 page views, again, showing that they're going deep and understanding that segmenting and sequencing of content. 63% are repeat visits. So going back to individuality, if they weren't getting what they want, they wouldn't be coming back. And we all know that obviously keeping someone and keeping them engaged is much easier than finding people who are coming away, going back and forth within content. And then most recently, our April numbers, we've been seeing that for page views, we've been seeing almost 8.5 for page views per visit, which again is really, really high for a site that's just started. And I'm going to show you a video so you can see where we are. Or do you start the video? You do.
I'm Anne-Marie O'Neill, and I'm proud to share Berman Braun's popular lifestyle destination for mums.
Just came to say hello.
Whether you're a woman trying to conceive, or an empty nester, or anyone in between, Mum.me is tailored just for you. We know that a mum is more than just a mum. As devoted as she is to her family, she also likes to take care of herself and to stay connected to the culture at large. Mum.me is unique in its focus on mums as individuals, its voice, its design, and the fact that mums can personalise the site to suit their lives and interests. At Mum.me, it's important to connect to mums as a non-judgmental friend. We're inclusive, but we're not exclusive.
So just wrapping up, taking the insights of life stage with utility and entertainment, wrapping around beautiful design, creating a new business model for brands to target women at all life stages, from what we're seeing, has produced extraordinary results for all. Thank you. Questions?
Yeah. Any questions for Katie and Jill? Okay, I got one over here.
Right there.
What life stage are you going to ask about?
I'm not going to put you on a hot seat. I like the concept of Mom.me, and I'm assuming P&G had to do a lot of promotional to drive traffic. How did you get users there, and is the intention to increase it into, say, an ad network or an ad site, or is it solely for P&G's environment? I noticed that there was like a Tide advertisement, so is it the intent of providing content along with some branding just around P&G, or
It's not just for P&G.
Okay.
So there are other advertisers involved in the site. As far as where the future of it goes, we see it working. It's going to continue to live and grow based on the feedback from our consumers and the audience, but it is not a solely P&G site, and that anybody who's interested in working with life stage marketing can reach out to Mom.me and potentially be a partner.
Okay, great. Thanks.
More questions? Let me get over to the gentleman. It's nice to hear a male voice every once in a while.
Hi, Scott Silverstein, Senior Vice President, Totally Her. For LatinaMom.me, I noticed that you had content in both in language, Spanish, and English. How is the content consumed mostly? Is it in language, Spanish, or is it in English?
So LatinaMom.me, it's a channel within Mom.me. Majority right now, because the LatinoMom.me just launched, the majority right now is in English, but we expect in time that those Hispanic numbers will continue to grow.
Great. Thank you so much,
Great.
Katie and Jill. What a
Thank you.
smart presentation.